Hi guys, Scott Keenlyside here at Highland Pacific Golf. Want to go through very quickly, I want to go through about alignments. Alignments is a very big deal. They say that golf is about two things, distance and direction. So direction, think about it seriously about where we're going. The first one is that let's say you're out practicing, right? You're out practicing and you're on a nice grass tee, you're practicing, you can do it even if it's on a mat, which is just as comfortable. Is I lay a club down parallel with where I'm going, okay? So if this is where I'm going, which would be on this line here, I lay another club that's parallel, okay? Then when I go to hit golf balls, what I do, which is important, is I obviously want to get this face aimed where I'm going. And that's particularly important, as it really goes without saying. So the thing being is that how do I get this baby aimed where I want to go? So when I set the golf club up this way, what I want to do is I want to get this face perpendicular where I want to go. So that's why when you practice, this club helps a lot. You'll see some of the tour players, if you go down to some of the tour events and watch them on the driving range, they'll have a club down just like this. So and the idea is that when I set the club this way, my golf club is at right angles with where I'm going. So it's a way you can practice, right? So put that club down, and then what you do is you hit your iron shots, and you can tell immediately if that face is perpendicular, meaning is it aimed where I want to go. So that's the first thing, right? Great little practice thing. All the tour players basically do it when you go out and watch them. Now, when you're going to go play, there's a really good template you can go through, which I think will help you with your alignments. I've said this 1,000 times in all the things that I've written about is I used to have step 1, step 2, and step 3, okay? It's very simple, not complicated, but I'll tell you, this is a lot of the pros on the tour, this is what they do. So the first thing you do is you gotta aim the club. That's the first thing. This has to be aimed first. We have to point it where we gotta go. So the thing being is I always aim the club first. That's the first thing I do. I've only got the club in one hand at this point, but I aim the golf club where I wanna go. So I can see the flag out there, I aim the golf club. Now you'll see guys like Nicholas, oh boy, Jack, I mean, he just such an intelligent player. One thing about Jack used to always watch Jack, he'd set himself and he'd go like this, and he'd look up and he'd go here, and he'd go here. We're like, what is Jack looking at just in front of the ball? Well, what Jack did, brilliant as he was, what he figured was, it's a lot easier if I pick an intermediate spot and I'm able to get the golf club aimed up. So it's a lot easier for me to aim this at something 3 feet in front of me that goes onto the target than it is for me to do something from here, let's say 150 or 175 yards away. So the thing being is that what Jack was doing, he was getting his club aimed up to that spot in front of him that in fact was in line with the spot that he was going to shoot the golf ball. Hey, he was one of the first really to do that, so it was very brilliant, right? So the idea when Jack sets himself up, he gets the club at target, then he sets his feet. Now one thing that's important about that, once you set the club head, the feet generally will always align themselves with the club head. And I'll show you that. So if I get the club aimed where I want to go, there's step 1, got the club aimed where I want to go, and I can pick a mark out here or a blade of grass, and I get the golf club aimed where I want to go at the target, then I set my feet. My feet will automatically align themselves with the club head. And I'll prove that to you. So if I'm here, if I get the golf club aimed where I want to go, I get it set in the right position, then I set my feet in this position, and then you can see, generally speaking, the golf club is aimed where I want to go. So really what we're talking about here, we're talking about, like, you'll hear this expression used in golf, railroad tracks. You'll see the railroad tracks. So everything is going towards the target, okay? So that's a really easy thing to do. So remember, set the club, set the feet, and then the last thing I like to do is set the hands, okay? So I'm ready to go. So now I'm going to think about my swing thought. There it is. Thank you very much.